Hello and welcome to the latest edition of It's Not Only Zebedee, Boings. Now today, hopefully, we've got some stories to brighten up your day during the lockdown. Let's start with this question. What happened next?
The day we won promotion at Oldham, April 1976, April 76. When the final whistle went, I thought I know where that ball went into the net. I'm going to cut myself a piece of turf and I'm going to take that back with me, as a grassy souvenir. Anyway, I wrapped it up in a serviette, stuck it in the pocket of my jeans.
All will be revealed later, but first let's get underway with a few funny stories.
Unusual funny things. I mean, oh dear me. Well, the funniest thing is, and I'm reminded of this so often, if I go into a pub with the lads, if I go into a toilet, if I'm close to the lads that can remember it, always remember it. We went to Blackpool and we beat them there. Was it 2-1 in a night match? I think it was. Or 3-1, maybe 3-2. I can't remember the score. You asked me about a result in 1931. I'll tell you straight off like that. Ask me a result perhaps nearer to. I can't remember. Anyway, but I'm there with my great friend Tim Eastope and Dave Hamilton. Dave Hamilton's the Express and Star photographer. Tim Eastope is the doyen in photography for the Birmingham Mail. I tell you what, there ain't many better photographers than Tim Eastope. Fudge is one, but. Anyway, I'm sitting there, and we're sitting behind the boards at at Blackpool. You had the temporary stand there before they had that stand built there. So it's there, and then the stewards come and said to us, right, we want you to go in front of the boards. Why is that? He said, because we think the Albion fans might rush down at the end of the game. I said, oh, do us a favour. That ain't going to happen. They don't know. He said, well, we want you to do that. So we're going to give you the signal when we want you to get up and go in front of the boards. So anyway, we get the signal, and I stand up, and just as the fullback, it was the Dutch Belgian fullback, the right back who played for us. Anyway, I think but he cleared the ball into that, and I am now standing up. And as I'm standing up, I've got my camera and my pod in front of me, okay? And the ball hits me fair and square on the head, and Tim will tell you, I go back, literally, my whole body went back, right back, and I'm behind the ball's there, and boom, and I crashed on the ground, and my camera was still in my hand as I fallen back, and I was out. I was out like a light, and and all the lads come down and they were helping me, and they laughed, and I couldn't remember too much about it at the time, but oh dear me, but that, and Tim, even to this day now, he's steering away from football. That's about the funniest, and the even funnier thing was I'd come up with Dave Bowler, Stuart Curtis, and that all worked for the club in the car, and I was instructed I had to go and see our club doctor, which was Kevin Conrad, even then. And I went over to see Kev, and Kevin said, you ought to go to hospital and get checked, Lowell. I said, Kev, if I go to hospital and get checked, the other lads are going to go home. How am I going to get home from Blackpool? I said, because I'm going to be there overnight, and I'm going to be stranded. So he said, okay, well, I'll let you go back with them, but I want you to phone me first thing in the morning, let me know you're okay, and make sure you go to see your doctor and ask him to check you out. So I did that. But that, I think, funny things. There's lots of amusing things that have happened to me in my time, but that one is one that strikes a chord, not just with me, but with other people. Yeah. With Tim Eastope, every time I see him, reminds me. Dave Hamilton, every time I see him, reminds me. The lads, I went into a pub at Fulham when we drew 1-1 with all the lads. And I remember I walked through the door and they had all the big cheer, and one lad shouted, "We got a football, duck!" You know, so yeah, I think that's probably the funniest thing that's happened. Even I have a laugh. I'll laugh about it. I've had a few other mishaps, like falling down camera pits and injuring myself and smashing cameras and one thing and another. I don't count them as funny things, but when you look back at them now, in the whole scheme of life, they're quite hilarious.
And then there was when John Osborne was playing. That was from around 66 onwards, and Jimmy Hagan signed him. Eccentric wasn't the word for him. I've never ever seen a goalkeeper go behind the goal when the play was at the other end and beg bags off the supporters. Well, some might doubt this, but I can verify it's true. For the simple reason, my sister used to feed him bags quite regularly, accept them gracefully and go on popping until the play came back up Ozzy's end, and then he would start doing his job as if nothing had happened. In these day and age, when smoking is seen as the sign of the devil, I don't think it would go down as well as it did then. Everybody thought it was a bit of harmless fun. Nowadays, it would be mocked over social media. Commentators would decry it to the ends of the earth, and John Osborne would be a social pariah.
The referees remember this, mate, when the referees used to come in and inspect your shoes, inspect your boots, and they used to rub their hands over your studs, so you make sure that they're not sharp and there was no nails sticking through. So, 10 minutes to go. Just before the bell goes, we hear, "Get ready, lads! Get ready! The referee's coming in," and the referees, because it was a new thing, were embarrassed. They didn't like it. Didn't like this. They would come in and say, "One warning, this, or you get a yellow card on, and this and this and this, and I'm very strict and all this and this." So we would then everybody put their heads down. Everybody put their heads down and would be doing something with the shoes, and they're ready to start laughing. So he says, "Let me have a look at your boots." So you stand up. So you stand up. So you put your left foot up there, and they would do there and say, "Yeah, okay," and they'd go down, and then they'd come back, and they'd come to Jeff, and Jeff would turn around, put his back to him, and then go and put his same foot up again. He says, "Is that all right?" And we would look, and we knew what he was going to do, and the linesman didn't understand why we were laughing at everything, and they'd be looking at you, so we upset them before we even got on the pitch, Jeff. Your boots, were you sponsored by Boots?
What were you talking about when we used to get our boots?
You don't say that.
I mean, this wasn't Adidas, this was Slimline boots. And apparently Don Howe had a pair, and so I had a pair, and it's supposed to be made out of kangaroo skin, leather.
So you jump higher?
Yeah, but I was supposed to. But the only problem with that was, when it was wet, they'd stretch, and I mean, I only took a size 6 in them days, because I was only young then, I was only 17, 18, and when it got wet, they turned out to be a size 8. And I always remember, me and Kenny Foggo used to swap boots, you know, and that was it, like, you know, and I'm sure I had Kenny Foggo's boots on when I got my hat trick. So,
I was about to go again.
Yeah, so I'm telling Willie, that's just before the kick-off.
You're posing there. I mean, you're posing there.
That was a cracking kit. We stood out a mile, and we all looked about 6 foot, but we're only like 5'7". They weren't tall. The only ones who were tall were the ones at the back. I mean, look at me and Willie now. And you had Johnny Kay was a lot taller, and Stan Jones was the tallest. Ray Potter in goal.
Ray Potter.
Dougie Fraser wasn't.
No, we weren't a big side.
Tall, but we were good, like with Ronnie Fenton, Bobby Oak, Ali Jackson.
We had some good football. Yeah. You know the people I feel sorry for is the Ian Collards. You know.
Ian wasn't tall, was he?
But he was a good player.
His feet, he was
he was
quick.
A good player.
His technique and his ability on the ball, and you know, and his running, he could run. He was exceptionally fast over, say, 10 yards. and he could make
Liverpool put the
make-
biggest offer for him
Yeah,
in our cup run.
yeah. But we got the pub at the back where everybody used to go after training.
Did you go in the Woodman?
I've been in a couple of times, yeah, with Keith Smith and Derek Kevin, Jacko, my mate, Jacko Alex.
The Woodman's so famous, isn't it?
Well,
and the other one is the Transport Cafe across the road. Remember that one?
Yeah.
No. Right across there was a Transport Cafe. They used to say the manager
Yeah,
got
halfway out
that
the
annoyed about
boundary
Jeff
zone.
Astle going in there. He said, "I'll put the bloody team sheet up in the Transport Cafe." And they used to eat bread pudding. You think about doing that now?
Now, earlier in the programme, we asked the question, what happened next? Well, maybe you've probably guessed by now. For those of you that haven't, here we go.
It goes back to the day we won promotion at Oldham, April 1976. Yeah, April 76. When the final whistle went, I had this brilliant idea, like everybody else, that I would run on the pitch to celebrate. But I remembered I was behind the goal where Tony Brown scored, of course, as were many thousands of others. But I thought I know where that ball went into the net. I'm going to cut myself a piece of turf, and I'm going to take that back with me, as a grassy souvenir. Anyway, I wrapped it up in a serviette, stuck it in the pocket of my jeans, went out that night. Well, we started celebrating in Oldham. We finished in West Bromwich. Got up the next day with a pretty bad head, I have to say, or tired and emotional, shall we say. And my wife said, "I've put your jeans in the wash." I said, "What jeans?" "The jeans that you were wearing yesterday." I said, "Oh no." Anyway, I rushed to her. I said, "Can you turn the thing off?" And she turned it off. Looked at them. She said, "Oh my God, there's grass stain all over them. Were you playing or watching at Oldham yesterday?" And my heart sank. And I knew as I lifted them out, I knew that was it. My little bit of glory, that little sod that I wanted to bring back. And I'd already got it worked out. I was either going to plant it in the middle of my garden, or I was going to put it in a glass case. As it happened, I never saw it again. It just disappeared.
Well, that's about it for this edition of It's Not Only Zebedee Ooh Boings. Stay safe. Hope to see you soon, either in the Vine or at the Hawthorns. So goodbye, and thanks for watching.